Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwant, and welcome to live LinkedIn live stream. And we are also on Twitter, on Facebook, and on X with none other than Jeffrey Hayzlett, is the chairman of the C-Suite Network. Thank you for joining us from your hotel room in New York.
Yeah, well, what better place to be than doing business right here and then just taking a few minutes out to be able to do a call like this? It's awesome. Thanks for doing the live stream.
Well, I also want to thank you that you are helping us promote the CRO Summit to your C-Suite Network members. And we actually have combined an event within the event. So we have
Yeah.
combined our events, and it's going to be an amazing experience. So we want you to join us. So, Jeff, you are doing a keynote. Can you tell us what you are going to talk about?
Oh, absolutely. Today in today's world, you have to be a media company, and if you're driving sales, driving marketing, driving brand value, either top line or bottom line growth, all of the above, you got to be a brand, and you've got to take that brand and become a media company because brand is nothing but a promise delivered, but you have to be able to tell the story today because you got to break through. And COVID taught us a great deal. Didn't cause the reasons for this, but it certainly accelerated it. And whether you're, whatever type of business you might be on Main Street in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, or on Wall Street, you got to tell the story and tell the story to your community. By driving great content, you get a great community. And then from that, you get great commerce. You get money. You're able to make money. And that's what this is about today, because there's so many people that are clamoring for your attention, so many people clamoring for your advertising dollars. So the way to break through all that is just to build great content. The best way to do that is become a media company. So do a podcast, do a book, go out there and do a lot of those kinds of activities. Do a television show if you want to do a television show so that your community can, watch and pay attention to you when they want to, not when you want them to.
I think this is very, very important to realize for entrepreneurs, for companies that are just emerging, or for existing companies to focus on content, because as you say, content creates community, leads to commerce, leads to cash, leads to excellence. And what boggles my mind is, Jeff, that so many companies don't know how to fashion the content that catches customers. Why is that? I'm not a native American. I grew up in Austria. English is my second language, and I try to work hard to be concise, crisp, and clear in my communication. Why is it that it is so difficult for especially entrepreneurs? When I listen to them, they tell me how to build a watch instead of explaining what their product does.
Well, I tell people, let's imagine you're a dry cleaner. Let's take a dry cleaner in St. Louis. You have to spend so much money to get noticed and to just hang up your sign, so to speak. But why not spend the money just to tell the story of what you do and how well you do it? So I tell people there's 119 dry cleaners in the St. Louis area. To break through that at a local level, you can't do Yellow Pages anymore. That's old. You can't really even do Google ads anymore because you can't buy the category because you're competing against everybody else. So what's better is to tell the story. You should become the doctor of spots. All right. So you show people how to get grass stains out. You show them how to get blood out of, out of a shirt or whatever it might happen that you need to do to show people. And it's not giving away the secrets. It's just showing them the secret sauce that you know how to do it. They learn from it. They know that you are the expert at it because you're the doctor of spots. And so they'll want to come to you. And that's what we have to do. We have to change the paradigm of the way that we used to do things, which was, shotgun it out, blow it out, spray and pray. And now it's more about, let me tell you what we do. Come to us, build the community. I don't need to talk to the millions out there. I just need to talk to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 20, 30, or how many I want to sell to or interact with that I want to be raving fans. And we just got away from it. We used to think that advertising was the way. And look, I'm a former chief marketing officer. I've done more ads than anybody and spent billions of dollars in doing that. I just know that you need to be genuine. And by being more genuine and being more of who you are and telling people what problem you're solving, the more they'll come to you. And what a better world, what a better way to do business. And so telling the story and living the story and being who you are is the way to do it. And I find podcasting to be the way to do that. I find TV to be the way to do that. I find books to be the way to do that, blogs to be the way of doing it, because you've got to go to where the people are. And it used to be that you could be on a primetime television show nationwide. Let's take some of the big brands you got coming, because on June 5th and 6th, and our event's on the 4th, by the way, we're going to do something in the 4th in the afternoon, a little mixer, and then we're going to join with you on the 5th and the 6th, and I'm actually keynoting on the 5th for you. And so it's going to be a great 2.5 days of just wonderful, wonderful interaction with some great executives. But, as I mentioned before, all of these big brands, we used to just spend money, advertise, and shout at people. Well, let's have a conversation. Let me find out what you want to talk about, and let's do that. And that is so much more intriguing than the other alternative out there.
Jeff, that reminds me, you had a television show where you got into the C-suite of really big companies, and you had conversations with a lot of different executives at the C level. Tell us a little bit about what you learned on how they approached storytelling.
Well, I tell you what, we found when you go inside the C-suite of most companies, and I've been in a number of, I sit on, 12 corporate boards. I've bought and sold hundreds of companies for billions of dollars in my career. And what I found when you're in the C-suite, and to go into the boardroom, right, where 99% of the people who work for the company never get to go in. Yeah. And you think about it, it's mind-boggling. And what those conversations, I've been in those conversations and know what they're like and how real they are, how raw they are, how transparent. And well, what I found in most of those about that storytelling or about that conversation that goes on is healthy tension. Typically, you find very good, healthy tension. Where it's not healthy, that's a company that's in trouble, right? But where you have good conversation where you're pushing each other in a healthy way and checks and balances to that, then you see companies that are really, truly growing and really, have those kind of things. I mean, great example was when I remember one time I'm watching a commercial on TV and it says our pizza sucks, and I'm going like, who does a commercial that says our pizza sucked? It tastes like, and they said the customer said it tastes like cardboard. Whoa, who's doing that, right? Well, that was Domino's. And I said, let me see if I get this right. You're sitting in a meeting around this board table, which I filmed in. I filmed at their headquarters in Detroit, and I had the CEO, the CFO, CMO, everybody sitting around the table, and I'm sitting in the chair at that time of where the CMO was sitting. And I said, let me see if I get this right. You guys were all talking, saying how great you were, and then you raised your hand and said, no, we suck. I've got this data that says our pizza tastes like cardboard. And then, Mr. Chairman, you agreed with him. Said, let's change the name. Let's go from Domino's Pizza to Domino's, be more reflective of just our brand. And then you changed the brand promise, which was 30 minutes or it's free. And they decided to do away with that, and to go out and change the recipe and change the way they did it. And so the results were tremendous, by the way. They went from like 90 cents a share to well over $109 a share, one of the biggest rise in stock history ever, by having what I just said, healthy tension in the room. And from that conversation they told. Now, imagine had they had a TV show where every week they talked about recipes, or every week they talked about, is pineapple good for pizza? Yes or no? Talk. Yeah. And imagine what that can do for a brand. And I think what we're starting to see is the genuine nature of what it should really be being discussed. And if you're someone serving the C-suite, one of the best ways you can do to drive business for yourself is have a podcast, for instance, and invite the people you want to do business with, and you interview them and you have a conversation. And
exactly.
You're not going to get everybody, but you'll get a certain percentage. And is it worth enough for you for the year to be able to, attract? It just becomes another sales tool. Right. And by the way, most people think podcasts, TV shows, books, those are destinations. They're not destinations. They're just another tool in the quiver in order to communicate with your audience and to be interactive and be a real company, a real brand.
But there's another principle underlying your story, which is that a healthy culture engages in healthy, constructive, creative, and innovative conversations. And an unhealthy culture is characterized by poor subjects about, conversation topics that they talk about the noise on the sidelines
Yeah.
instead of talking about the game.
Well, let me use an analogy from American football, if I may, Gerhard,
Yep.
since you mentioned sidelines in the game, because imagine that you're on a pro football team or any great performing football team. High performance teams communicate. They communicate very clearly. Maybe sometimes it's a slap upside the helmet, say, hey, what are you doing? But they communicate in a certain way. So let's imagine that I'm on a pro or a great football team, and I'm a guard or a center. Now, I used to be a center. Now, let's imagine that I missed my block, and the person that went through, the nose guard, went through and tackled the quarterback. Everybody knows I missed my block. I go back to the huddle and I don't say anything. Everybody's thinking, hey, Hayzlett missed his block. What the heck's he thinking? Now, if I were to come back to that huddle and say, gentlemen, I'm sorry, I missed my block, my bad. Or even better, to say, look, I'm having a tough day. This guy is tough. Is anybody can help me a little bit? Right? Or like you can analogy is, I missed my numbers. I'm going to have a tough quarter. Hey, is there another region that could help me here? Is there another salesperson that could help me go close this other account? What a different conversation than if I go back, get on my hands and my knees, bend my head down, don't say anything, and everybody's going, what an idiot that guy is. He missed his block. He's weak. We need to trade him. We need to get rid of him, as opposed to turning to my teammates and go, hey, I need some help here, right? That's what you need in these cultures. You need this culture of this healthy tension in order to really succeed. And by the way, I've watched sales team after sales team. I've led sales teams. I've been a chief marketing officer. I've been a chief sales officer. I've been the CEO. I've been the chairman. I've done a lot of different jobs. And I know when I've seen sales teams, when I've seen professional leaders inside the company operating at that level, the team soars. The team soars, and that's just a great thing. That's just one of the things that we'll be talking about at the Chief Revenue Summit that'll be held, and we're calling it the whole sales week, the C-suite sales week, right? That's what we are. And so the C-suite's going to be doing something on the 4th, and you get to come and you just register with us. You come to email me. There's my email right there. You can email me, and I'll get you a pass that you can come for this, and you can go to the entire event, and we'll make sure that you're at both events, and I'll send you a special deal. You're not going to get it anywhere else other than through us, and you'll be able to go save $1,000 and go to this event, and then stay for the 5th and 6th for Gerhard's event. That's how much we believe in it. We want to get the right people in the room and have some good, healthy tension and discussion and learning, because when we get in there, Gerhard, you know this, we're going to be cheering each other. We're going to be sharing information, and we're going to be doing some high fives and slaps on the backs. At the same time, we might be doing a few hugs where people needed a little bit more motivation and inspiration.
Yeah, come for the conversation, because the conversation we have at those Sales 3.0 conferences, they always turn into cash. They always lead to new relationships. You're going to expand your network, and you know that your network is your net worth. And those are.
And by the way, Gerhard, I got to say this. I went to one of your events 14 years ago.
Yep.
I can remember this. 14 years ago, I was speaking at your event. I was walking through the lobby and saw a little tiny expo area. Right, there was an expo area, and at one table there was this company called DocuSign.
Yep.
And it was sitting there and had a booth. They were one of the sponsors of the thing. Brand new company, no more than 18 employees. I stopped and said, "What is this?" They gave me a little demo. I said, "I want to sign up on the spot." I think it was $100 at the time. They were very new, very early. 18 employees. That was it. I think the founder was sitting there. Tell me more about it. I ended up going on their board, and that company went public for $21 billion. Okay, saw at your event, and it was amazing. And you get to see innovative exhibitors, innovative partners like that, and then you get to see some of the biggest sales leaders, chief revenue officers, chief sales officers, even a few CMOs, CEOs, and also some coaches, some trainers, some consultants, that are serving that C-suite will be there too. It's a great event. I love to go. And you've had some of the greatest speakers in sales that I've ever known in my life. And I've seen some of the best in the world.
Well, thanks for sharing the DocuSign story, because we both ended up being on the board and going to amazing board meetings and rubbing elbows with incredible people that showed up at their events. It was an amazing ride. And so consider the CRO Summit not a destination, but a door opener for you, where you can develop a brighter future.
It's a great way of doing it. Great way of doing it. You know, I always say at our C-suite events, you come for a little education, some motivation, and inspiration, and you have a chance for monetization, but you got to show up. You got to buy the ticket. So you have to be able to, you know, if you want to win the lottery, you got to go to the 7-Eleven and buy the ticket. In this case, you just got to reach out to us. There's the barcode right there. Reach out or email me. We'll make sure that you get there and come and be a part. And you're going to be part of some great conversations in the room and even in the hallways. You know, we'll have as much going on in the hallways as we will have in the room as well.
And then we have the special dinners. A number of sponsors host private dinners that are memorable, where you can drop your guard, be vulnerable, and learn a lot and walk away with a long list of action steps that can help improve your business, innovate, and accelerate your revenues.
Absolutely. You take that armor off at the door, and then the conversations you have are tremendous.
Because vulnerability makes you invincible.
Well, and it also, the other piece of it is that the more you surround yourself with great people, the greater that, you know, that you are. I mean, that's just a fact. And I've learned over the years, the more I give, the more I get back. So I can't wait to be there, to present. You know, I'll even do it with more energy than I'm talking about in this interview. I'm just saying, I'm excited to do it. I'm excited about what's going on with the podcast and the TV industry. You know, the C-Suite Network, we've got 450 podcasts now, about 70 TV shows, 70 million downloads. We're going to triple that business this year, triple the business.
Wow.
Yeah, it's we're on that. You know, everybody talks about the what we call the hockey stick of growth. For so long, I've been the handle. I've been down here at the handle, and now I'm finally up here, and it's just so nice to be able to exhibit that.
Well, thank you again, Jeffrey, for joining forces. I can't wait to see you in Vegas. And we will have next week another preview of the Sales 3.0 conference and the CRO Summit with Jeffrey. And next week, we're going to have something special in store for you. So tune in again and click on the link below and join us in Vegas. Thank you.